Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Marketing Institute of Singapore, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our Trainers Appreciation Night 2023. The last time we had this was in 2019, and it has been 4 years. The pandemic stopped us from having it every year. So after 4 years, it's good to see you here, happy, healthy, and ready to enjoy the evening. Now, I only know that I have to give a speech only yesterday, all right? And I was having my medical checkup in the hospital. So I wrote this speech in between the various so-called test stations. The doctors were wondering why I was so busy, you know. At 71 years old, he said, why are you still so busy? Since he asked you to guess, I might as well tell you. Okay, this year, 2023, marks the 50th anniversary of the Marketing Institute of Singapore. For the past 50 years, the Marketing Institute of Singapore and the Marketing Institute of Singapore Business School have been actively involved in executive development and the education industry. As we celebrate our Golden Jubilee, we look back with pride on our achievement. With your contribution and support, we have earned several training and development awards, including the Best Corporate Training Provider Gold Award for the past 8 consecutive years. We have contributed to the professional development of some 50,000 sales and marketing professionals in Singapore and beyond. We have contributed in no small way to the national development of talent. Now, in early 2020, COVID-19 burst into the world abruptly. The COVID-19 pandemic has had far-reaching effects, including on the economy and on the education sector. The World Health Organization and governments across the world called for social distancing as a way of curbing the spread of the COVID virus. Now, the global acceptance of social distancing policy as a measure to curb the spread of COVID-19 has forced schools to close their doors. And this has caused unexpected disruption to the traditional teaching and learning model. The mandate to move employees to working from home has also made it impossible to provide in-person, classroom-based skills training. Now, following the closure of educational institutions and training centers, the whole education landscape has changed dramatically. And this includes the notable rise of electronic learning, or what we know as e-learning, which is conducted remotely via digital platforms. The COVID-19 pandemic may come to be seen as a significant turning point in the use of e-learning across the world. With this comes significant opportunities and challenges. Now, what are some of these challenges, especially for us in MIS? Now, first, there is the issue of competition. With e-learning, students have a wide range of choices other than schools within a reasonable physical distance from home. Our competitors are now not just those in our country, but could be anywhere in the world. As training providers and trainers, competition is now more intense, with a wide variety of training providers and trainers available in the marketplace. Then comes technology. E-learning in its entirety is dependent on technology devices and the internet. Trainers and lecturers with bad internet connections are liable to be denied access to online learning. Trainers with outdated technological devices might find it hard to meet up with some technical requirements of e-learning. And sometimes you will wonder, and surprised at how technology can affect the way we teach. Even we think that we have up-to-date equipment. I was using an 11 Gen laptop, 16 gig RAM. 11 Gen is only 4 core. And when I open many tabs, because I have quizzes, I have PowerPoints with animation, I have WooClap, I have Kahoot, all open up ready to show to my audience, and my laptop hang. 11 Gen 16 gig i7, still not enough. You'll be surprised. So even with the availability of up-to-date technology and equipment, trainers also need to know how to use this effectively. Right? Trainers with low digital competence are liable to lag behind in the e-learning environment. Now, how about the format of training? Right? The format of training must migrate to one suitable for online teaching. Most of our courses were designed based on the face-to-face modes of teaching and learning. This is inappropriate for e-learning and render the training less effective. Then assessment. After instructional delivery comes assessment, where as trainers, as instructors, we must measure learning activities to ascertain whether the learning objective, the instructional objectives have been met through tests, through quizzes, and through examinations. Now, how are we to set assessment questions in an environment where assessments are taken online? This is something we need to ponder about. Then, as if all these challenges are not enough, now we have ChatGPT. AI poses another challenge for trainers. Some potential trainees see a less need for going for courses as they thought they can find the answers quickly from ChatGPT. You and us as trainers and lecturers have to compete with robots now. However, amidst all these challenges, there are silver linings. So let's look at the positive side. Surveys, including those by the International Labour Organization, by Simply Learn, and by others, indicated that 86% of respondents actually start to enjoy e-learning, and that most learning have taken place online. So there's no going back to before the pandemic situation, as the world has moved on to hybrid courses, to e-learning in conjunction to some face-to-face instruction. The question now is how we as training providers and trainers deliver our courses in a dynamic and stimulating learning environment and in a manner that make virtual teaching and learning effective. Right? But this now present an opportunity for enterprising training providers and trainers. Why do I say that? Because unshackled from the constraints of geography, we can provide our training services to anyone and anywhere from our base in Singapore, especially to the developing Asian countries in the first instance. Our potential market is enlarged. This is an opportunity we can seize. There is also an opportunity for us to review our face-to-face course design. We should design interactive modules, incorporate multimedia elements, and that interaction should act as an active process which requires learners to do rather than passively absorb information like in most seminars and lectures in the past. And we should upskill our digital competence and make the best use of technology. We must master the use of various online platforms for content delivery. This includes learning to navigate virtual classrooms, using interactive tools, managing breakout sessions, etc. At MIS, we have invested close to $250,000 Singapore dollars in our studio to enable us to present a best-in-class e-learning experience to our course participants. And we should engage in professional development. Teaching online, teaching in a virtual environment is very different from teaching in a face-to-face situation. In Singapore, our private education industry is governed by rules and regulations set forth by the Committee for Private Education, which is part of our Ministry of Education. Now, currently, we have to comply to GD3, that is Guidance Document 3. A new set of rules, GD4, Guidance Document 4, will come into effect very soon. My quick reading of the newly released GT4 indicated that while students and graduate outcomes remain an important criterion for the award of the EduTrust certification, people development outcomes of staff, including trainers, will be a new requirement. We at MIS will pay attention to the professional development of our staff and trainers on a continuous basis to meet these new GT4 requirements. We will also pay particular attention to the new threat from AI as a potential replacement to face e-learning. You know, I was sitting there yesterday wondering now, I said that ChatGPT will be a threat to the training industry. So what is the answer? At that point, I really was stuck writing the speech. So what is the next best thing to do? I took out my laptop, I key in to ChatGPT, and I asked, as a corporate trainer, how am I going to compete with ChatGPT? And I waited for the answer. I expected only two things. Either the outcome will be, good luck, my friend, I'm not telling you how to compete with me. But to my surprise, it came a long list of how we can compete with ChatGPT. I have some of the points here, which I took from them in addition to some of my points. Now, ChatGPT is actually not so smart after all. Where can you find a marketer telling you how to compete with him? Right? He will tell you, I'm not going to tell you how to compete with me. But so ChatGPT actually told me how to compete with them. They said that ChatGPT is not able to personalize and customize training that a human trainer can. So we should customize and adapt our training style, our content, our methods, our curriculum to suit individual clients and course participants' unique needs and objectives. Right? Your domain expertise must be broad, must be deep, and must constantly be up to date. As trainers, you should use your personal experience to enrich your lessons. You motivate and encourage your course participations. You build rapport and trust. These are things AI robots cannot do. That's what ChatGPT said as well. So they actually say that rather than as a competitor, we can actually, rather ChatGPT can complement the training industry. So we are not competitors. We are collaborators in the teaching and learning process. All right, finally, we need, as trainers at training institutions, we need to review, we need to reflect, we need to update constantly, right? And we need to practice what I call strategic subtraction. And this is the way in which all practices are what I call hospice, to make room for new initiative. We can be innovative. We can be innovative by getting rid of what we were doing in the past. We embrace the exciting innovation of e-learning that's already here. While we look back with a sense of fulfillment, we also look forward with hope and optimism. The new training landscape is here to stay. This is the new normal. Together with you, the Marketing Institute of Singapore will make the new normal a better normal. So on behalf of the Marketing Institute of Singapore, I want to take this opportunity to thank all our trainers and lecturers for your contribution, for your commitment, and for your support. Thank you for being here, and have an enjoyable evening. Thank you.